This Roscoa finished flowering weeks ago, but it still looks good because the foliage is great. Really exotic looking foliage. This is just about still flowering, this Hypericum tricolour, but it's coming to the end now. You never know, might get a few more blooms. Now we're coming towards autumn now, well not quite, it's the beginning of September, but definitely coming to the end of summer, and a lot of the perennials have finished flowering. However, the great thing about this garden is it's 90% evergreen, so I've still got my heuchera plants that add colour all year round, and even this pulmonaria, this silver plant here, pretty much stays evergreen. Nice contrast there between this old purple pallas and that silver foliage. Now some of these heucheras took a bit of a beating when we had that heat wave. You can see the very crispy leaves on them. Now I mentioned this at the beginning of the year. Lime marmalade keeps the colour. The marmalade variety does tend to get a bit tatty as the months go on. It's great at the beginning, but it can get battered, and you can see something's at the leaves now. You can always trust the fuchsia to perform this time of year. Nice big flowers on this beacon. Some more pulmonaria, lime marmalade heuchera, more purple pallas heuchera, more beacon fuchsia, fantastic flowers on that. Now, I don't know what's going on with this. This might need to be moved. I can't even pronounce the name of this, I'll have to put it in the title. But it looks like it's not happy here. I think I might need to move that later. And my Procrosmia Emily Mackenzie. This is always reliable. Every September you get the flowers. Underneath, the blue Salvia has finally flowered. This was delayed by a few weeks, and I was thinking it wasn't going to flower, but it looks like it's coming good now with these fantastic blue flowers. The second batch of Catmin flowers, they're still going, but I can see it's starting to fade now. Now to be honest, this is fading a bit earlier than normal. This will normally look really good till October, but this year it looks as if the flowers are going to fade a bit earlier. These Nandinas, I love Nandinas. These Nandinas look fantastic all summer because we constantly put out these nice brand new red leaves. Fantastic plant, drought tolerant, in fact it's tolerant of everything. It's a really good plant. These evergreen shrubs are really going to stand out come the winter. Got the Chaser, Aztec Gold, stays gold all year round. We've got the Pittosporum Tom Thumb. Now we haven't noticed that all year round, it doesn't flower, but what it will produce is fantastic dark purple leaves for the winter to add a bit of contrast. The Barbary Admiration looks great all spring into summer, but that's going to lose the leaves soon. But I've really enjoyed that for months on end. Fantastic plant that. Now the Salvia hot lips, reflowered again. Looking in a bit of a sorry state to be honest, and I think the bees have been at it. I need to cut this back, try and promote a bit more growth. Now sometimes this one flowers well in the midsummer, if it gets warm, it tends to flower better when it's a bit cooler. But this will carry on going. It will carry on putting flowers out till the frost, really. It's a reliable plant. I've got this Agastaki apricot sprite, all different places in the garden. These are seeds that are planted and every one of them germinated. Colourful little plants. Another admiration, barberry, fantastic plant. This is annoying. Got this campanula plant here, flowering on that side, not flowering this side. No idea why. That soil on the better side just must be better. Interested in that? Keep pulling flowers off the daylilies. This is Stella d'Oro, and this has flowered really well this year. I can see there's quite a few flower heads I need to pull off, but it has been good. It has produced quite a lot of flowers. Now, the bamboo looked a bit tatty when it first arrived, and it does tend to look a bit tatty when it's younger and there's not many canes, but it's starting to get a bit of bulk, so there's more canes in the middle, and I think in a few years time, if I strip the bottom of these canes, it's going to look really ornamental. Now, if you watch my videos on a regular basis, you'll be thinking, what have I done to the back of this border here? Well, I had that fantastic fuchsia with all its flowers, but it was getting huge, far too large for the space, and in fact it was getting a bit too much like a jungle, so I've had to move things around, taken all the bark up. I'm going to put some perennials in here, some different plants, keep things a bit tidier, bark all over it again and get it back in shape. And sometimes you have to do this. This is what I'm starting to learn now after a few years. I bought too many plants at the beginning and I'm starting to have to pull them out because they're getting too big for the space. I've never mentioned this. This apple tree is amazing. It's only a small thing, but every year it produces all these apples. We've got another like 6 weeks, maybe even 8 weeks before we start taking these apples off. It's a red Falstaff. Every year without fail, this gives me apples. Sometimes the pear tree will fail. The peach tree might give me maybe about 5 to 10 peaches, but this thing, no matter what, will give me apples. The broom has gone nuts. This year it's put tons and tons of growth on. Again, maybe it's a plant that's grown too big for its space, but I am looking forward to next year because this is going to be absolutely packed with those fantastic flowers that these shrubs produce.